Hi, I'm Joe, and today we're going to do a little scientific research. I'm not showing off any specific set, but a video I watched from another YouTuber called Lucas the Builder showed a MOC that he built. It was actually a rebrickable MOC, or one of those types of models that you can buy where it's actually a rebrickable MOC, but you can buy all the parts. And it's of the World Trade Center. And he showed a close-up of one of the building techniques that looked like it was putting too much stress on the bricks. But at a glance, it looked like it should have been perfectly normal. And that's the technique of using a down bracket and an up bracket and using a 2x2 plate to hold those together. In fact, that's one of the features of the fish tank, both the Lego model and my own MOC, that kind of holds the bars in place. So I thought there should have been nothing wrong with that. Why is there stress on the bricks? But once I looked at the picture closer, I could see that there's some stud reversal in there. And so the connection isn't necessarily between a down bracket and an up bracket, but actually two up brackets with plates in between or in the neighborhood that aren't necessarily connected to each other because the studs are reversed. So I decided to run my own experiments. First of all, shout out to Bluebricks, who provided this gigantic bag of extra parts that came with the original series Enterprise. This really has just been the gift that keeps on giving, because I've pulled random parts out of here for numerous things, and there's lots of good stuff in here, including bracket pieces that I can do this demo with. So here I'm going to show a more normal situation here, where I've got one down bracket and one up bracket here. And if I have 3 plates or 1 brick in between those 2 brackets, they should line up, and I should be able to place a 2x2, or I'm going to use a 2x3 in this case because it was easier to pull the piece off for repeated demonstrations. So there, that is a legal building technique, and I'm going to put this piece right here on it, and it fits fine. And just one quick disclaimer, these are not Lego brand bricks, these are Bluebricks pieces, but they should conform to the same rules. But anyway, here's a legal building technique. So now I'm going to take this apart and demonstrate the same connection, except I'm going to use 2 down brackets here. I don't know if I can show those, but I'm going to have them face each other. So there's actually nothing connecting those plates. And I'm going to put this same 2x3 over the top, and we're going to see how it connects. And it does connect, and it's hard to see in this picture, but you can see there is definite stress here. This piece here, the front part of the bottom down bracket, is pulling away from the plate, and there's also more of a gap here that I can get a fingernail in between there that shouldn't be there. It's not a huge deal, and if I had used bigger pieces, the gap I think would be a little more pronounced, but it's definitely there. I'm going to squeeze it shut a little bit. Doesn't show too much, but when I let it go, yeah, you can see that gap opens back up. I'm going to squeeze it again and let it go, and you can see the gap there. So what I think the problem was with that build in that video is there's nothing else holding these plates together. So thankfully, Bluebricks also makes or includes, Bluebricks doesn't manufacture bricks, but this Enterprise set included one of these plates that has studs on both sides, which is a part that Lego doesn't make. And really, why not? I don't know. But this I know would be very, very handy for lots of builds. But I'm going to try this in the middle instead of this regular 1x2 plate. So I'm going to pull that out, put this studs on both side plate in, and this is our other down bracket. I'm going to put those together, and now that is attached, so there is some kind of clutch already there. And when I put this piece on, we don't have a gap anymore. So that, I think, is what the problem was in that World Trade Center build, is there was just not the additional bit of clutch there in the middle that it really needed from a type of brick that Lego doesn't yet make. And I say yet because I think at some point they have to catch up to the competition. Although Mega Bloks has had these stud on both side plates for a long time, I don't know why Lego has decided not to make them. I think it would just explode the possibilities for what you can build with Lego bricks in legal building techniques. And maybe that's what they're trying to steer away from. I don't know if maybe Lego sees that as some kind of Pandora's box and they just don't want to open it. But anyway, I thought I would just do this little demo for how this type of connection works, because I was bothered to see why would two brackets connected together not fit a 2x2 plate, because I had thought that possibly the studs were a different distance between the top and bottom of the bracket, and there might be some misalignment. But if I just place that brick right on top of the studs, if there's any difference there, it is only barely measurable. And I know it doesn't take much difference to make a connection stressed, if there is going to be that. And also, these are not Lego bricks, so they may not be manufactured to the tolerance of a Lego brick. But to me, just to my eyes, those are lined up pretty well. And like I said, with the stud on both sides plate in the middle, it works just fine. So, thanks for checking out my scientific research. And until next time, remember, today is a good day to build.